Okay, hello everyone. I said I'm going to be doing my reflections on video. So this is the one for this week. Yeah, I'm in green. Real estate is green. So yesterday, I want to tell you about how my day went yesterday. So by the time you're watching this, it will no longer be yesterday, but it was Monday of this week. So I had already made up my mind. Let me just say I had a leading that I wasn't going to work on Monday. It didn't matter what was going on, and thankfully I looked at my calendar at work. It was very light. The only meeting I had, I forwarded it to, it was a recurrent progress updates meeting. I forwarded it to my assistant, my team member. So I wasn't going to be missing too much. And I've been so diligent for about 2 months now, which is unlike me. Typically I don't reach one place, you just cut off. But one thing I discovered about around last year was that when I take a day off, it's like it helps me reset. So I then decided that I was going to be doing it, because what I noticed was that if I don't do it, I will start, it's like load shedding in my mind. My brain will just start forgetting important things. And so yesterday I did find out that I was actually getting there. And the scary thing is that I won't even know what I forgot until the consequences come. And so I knew that yesterday I wasn't working. And then I now found out I'm a UK alumni. I went to a UK university for my postgraduate studies. And so I'm going to come back to that. I have some reflections on that. So I decided I was going to go because it was on my day off. But I don't usually like going out the night or the evening before, and then I have to go to work. If I have to do that, I usually would have chosen Tuesday. And then I also had a prayer call on Monday. So I was like, maybe I should do Tuesday. I was like, no, let me stay with Monday. So I went ahead, I stayed with Monday. And so my plan was, I just dropped my daughter off in school, go back home and sleep. That was my plan for the time off. Because what happens with some of us is that we'll say we are taking a day off. You will now load the day with activities. So you will come back from your day off feeling less rested than when you didn't take the day off. So I was like, see, even if it is 2 hours of straight sleep or 3 hours, do it. So I decided to take my own advice, and so I decided to sleep. But there's a friend of mine who had reached out. She and her husband, they wanted us to talk because I'm supporting them through something, and I'd asked them to schedule. So we had scheduled for later in the evening, but when I realized it was clashing with my networking event, we brought it back to 12 noon. And so I was one that gave them the time, but I slept. That sleep, it was godly. My assistant came. I just went to open the door for her. I went back to sleep. And while I was sleeping, it was like God told me many things that He probably has been telling me before, but because I'm everywhere trying to do everything, I wasn't able to calm down. But I received, and I knew that I received. It was like all those ministrations, everything we don't jump for head. It was like it now fell inside, and it has now entered. I cannot explain it, but I feel like I'm aligned. The thing it enter. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's inside. So anyway, so I had that revelation, and it was good. So I woke, and in the middle of it, the sleep was sweet. Then my friend then called. So apparently I had slept past the time I gave them. So I quickly woke up, and then we had the conversation. And the husband, whom my friend was not sure was going to want to have the conversation, his feedback at the end was that because he prayed It was like, oh, that he feels like he has got clarity, and he made what I do. He made it. He made it was there was a level of validation in there, right? So anyway, we did that, and I told my daughter that we were going together for the networking event because my daughter wants to go to a UK school. We've started envisioning it, and so so she how do I say it? Okay, so she put on a t-shirt and a pair of trousers, and I was like, no, madam, we don't used to do that for networking events. We are Nigerians, we don't behave like that. And so thankfully she listened to me. She went on to dress properly, and we both twinned with our jackets. It was giving sharp, even if it's me that says so myself. So it was sharp giving. And so we get there, everyone is properly dressed. So I told her, can you see? These are the types of things that if you don't have a good mother or a millennial mother to insist on, you will go like, oh, I'm Gen Alpha, and you will now lose opportunities because of how you're dressed. So I want to say this in order to strike a balance. Two things actually. First of all, with dressing, the fact that you are Gen whatever you are, I think you still need to know where to strike the balance. You need to know where you're going and dress the part. And it makes me remember a video I saw yesterday on LinkedIn. I think I'd seen it before, but I saw it again yesterday, so I'll talk about that too. It was a progress update Teams meeting, and so one person had her camera off, the other three had their cameras on, and then the boss calls the lady that had her camera off was Ali, and he says, Ali, I've said before, you should all keep your cameras on. And then Ali, turn on your camera. Ali turns on her camera, and it turns out that she's in her bathtub in her towel with something on her head, obviously unprofessional, yeah. And of course Ali was catching the flack for it, and Ali said, there's nothing in my contract that says that I must turn on my camera when attending these meetings, which in my opinion is a valid point. And my question in this instance, of course, is related to dressing, because I think if you're going for a meeting, you should dress properly. But then there's actually nothing in the contract that says so. It's just what we think should be common sense. But with these generations that we are dealing with, I think we are going to need to be getting more explicit and to be explaining that these are the requirements, because it's like they are not among the people that used to think that they should dress well. So I just wanted to clear that. And so I'm in the middle. I don't really know why we should turn on our cameras for progress updates. If it's an interview, I don't mind, but why are we turning on our cameras for progress updates? Somebody should please explain to me. But I hear there are rooms that you need to dress the part, and please learn to do so. That's my takeaway for that. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, I watched an interview where they were talking about should you school in a Nigerian school versus foreign universities. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I have both a Nigerian degree and a UK degree, so I feel like the optimal should be to do both. I would recommend, as a person, which is what has worked for me, get a Nigerian first degree if you can, if it is feasible. I know it's not feasible for all, because some people, you relocated with your kids, getting them back into the Nigerian university may be hard. But if it's possible, let them get the Nigerian university advantage. And what someone highlighted, the person has a foreign degree, first degree, and she was saying that she went back to Nigeria to work, and the challenge she was having was that everybody, they knew themselves they've done Great Ife, they are great UITs, and then she's coming with a foreign degree. And so her position was that maybe let the kids have a first degree in Nigeria, and then they can go further. But I don't think it's going to be everyone will be able to do that. But if you're able to, let them do that. Otherwise, if all they can get are foreign degrees, what the other person had recommended in that instance was that let them get all the exposure and the global recognition they can. And then when they are coming back, they shouldn't be coming back at the level of looking for a job. They should be coming back at the level of, oh, we are investing in the economy. So they bring the global talent and the global resources to build locally. I think that's great. And it's interesting again, because my daughter was talking to me about the idea of local, which is global, and we picked that from Funke Akindele's creative blueprint. They said something around that, so we were talking about it. Local, which means you are building locally, but you are building for a global audience. I'll stop here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the issues I've raised, and see you next time.